friends. Welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me here in the yarn room today. I hope you're all having a great day. I'm making the best of my day. It didn't start out so great, but it's a great day anyway. What I did this morning, as soon as I got up and went to the restroom and did all that kind of stuff, I went into the kitchen to fix me a cup of tea. Well, like a glass of tea, but it was tea, sweet tea covered, poured over ice. Sorry. Anyway, I dropped the whole pitcher full of sweet tea. Oh my gosh, it went everywhere. And it's, bad enough that I had to clean that up. But this tea had sugar in it, so I don't know about everybody else, but sugar attracts ants, and so I was like, which we haven't had much of an ant problem. Like, I don't think last summer was so bad, but in the years past, sometimes ants are bad, especially if we get lots of rain, then we get ants. At times, not all the time, but sometimes that can happen. But anyway, I thought, oh my gosh, all that tea's got sugar in it, it's going to attract ants. So I grabbed some towels and cleaned up everything on the counter. Had to move everything, plus I had to wash off the bottom of everything and clean up the counter, the bottom cabinet, front doors and drawers and all that, then the floor. And then I went back and sprayed cleaner all over the counter, and then the floor also, just to make sure that I got it, because I didn't want to leave any kind of sticky residue or anything. So got that cleaned up and started my day. It's always a wake up fully right away, right? Today I am drinking cinnamon coffee out of my adorable cup that Destiny at Pick and Poke Crochet. Is it Pick and Poke Crochet or Pick and Poke Design? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I hate it when I second guess myself. I think it's Pick and Poke Crochet. Anyway, I'll link her below. How about that? She's a sweet young lady, and she made this adorable cup for me. So I'm trying the cinnamon coffee. What happened was yesterday I refilled our coffee station. I had several boxes, maybe a lot of boxes, that were coffee K-cup variety boxes, and I had a girl a while back to come and help me clean house and do some things for me, and so it was right around one of my surgeries, I believe. And so anyway, she took all those boxes and dumped them all together into plastic boxes with lids to go under the cabinet there, which is a great idea, except she didn't know what I was doing. I was keeping them in separate boxes because I was sharing with you guys and all that, and she just mixed it all together and put in there, which is fine. It's okay. But when I first saw what she did, I was like, that's not what I was doing. But anyway, so now there's like a couple of two boxes of, they're just, I wouldn't say Rubbermaid, they're probably Sterilite plastic boxes about this big, and then they have the plastic lid on them. They're just smallish boxes. Not the shoe size, but the next size up. Anyway, she dumped those in there, and then they're just in there under the cabinet, and the cabinet's under the coffee station. Gosh, I said that really weird. Anyway, so I just pull one of those boxes out and restock my little coffee station there, which works great. It's fine. I love it. And so I pulled out some yesterday and put them in, and so I went in there to pick a coffee a while ago, and there was a cinnamon coffee. Now, I love me some Jennifer at Cinnamon Stitches, okay? Let me just say. But I'm not crazy about cinnamon flavor, okay? When something has cinnamon, or if my son Dakota was making something with cinnamon, I always ask him, if he's making like a cake or, whatever he was been making, cobbler or something like that, I would say, you know, can you do easy cinnamon on this side? You know, you can go heavier down on one end, but easy on one end for me. So that's what he always did when he lived at home, and would make cobblers and cakes and stuff like that. If it's sprinkled on the top or whatever. But it's not so bad. It's not bad as I thought it would be. When I pulled it out, I was like, well, let me go ahead and just try it. It's not so bad. It's not overpowering or anything like that. I barely get a hint of cinnamon. So, yeah. It came out of a variety box. I don't know which box, and I don't know who sent that box. Unfortunately, I hate that. That's the part I don't like, is I can't say who sent that box, what cup this came out of, and who sent that, because I don't remember anymore. She threw all the boxes, and I had stuck little tags with them so I would know. And anyway, today is Saturday, and we are just hanging out today. Storms are rolling in. I've been just sitting at my desk watching YouTube videos today, crocheting away, just enjoying my day. And Big Daddy has been in the den, which is right outside this door. He has been sitting in here just watching, I don't know, something I wouldn't watch. He's just been in there watching whatever and enjoying his day. Every now and then I come back here and talk to him. Every now and then he comes up there and talks to me. So we're just having a laid back day and enjoying every minute of it, okay? And storms are rolling in now. The wind kicked up, and I hear it's starting to rain now. So I thought I better go get that video finish recording that video and upload it, because electricity could go out. They're saying we could have really, really bad storms, but who knows? It might be really bad across town, and it might be nothing at my house, but we are getting a little bit of rain right now. I want to thank you all so much for watching my yarn room tour video. That was clips and clips that I put together, you know, that were taken at different times. So after I put that up, I really panicked and thought I might have just like said the same thing over and over in clips, but if I did, please forgive me. And as you can see, if you look, I've already changed the room around since that video went up yesterday. Last night I came in here and I'm pulling some yarns. I'm going to put all my Premier yarns together, and so I'm pulling all those out, because the reason why I'm pulling Premier together is because sometimes I want to make projects that's all Premier yarn. And so I am affiliate with Premier, and so I do have a link below that if you order from that link, then I get a 10% help with my yarn purchases for the channel. So I just want to, when I make a project with Premier, I want to say, you know, make it with Premier. This was made with Premier. Not, this was made with some Premier, some Red Heart, some Mainstay, some I love this yarn. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I got in here and I was pulling some yarn out and doing some things. So you can see I added a whole stack of crepes right here, and over here I put my whip quartz floating, and you can't see there's a stack of 4 stacks of those collapsible bins over in that very, very corner. So yeah, this room is always changing, always. I'm always pulling yarn, using yarn, getting rid of yarn, buying more yarn. This room changes completely all the time. So, and yesterday the room was clean for that video, but hey, I'm going to do a real video later to show you my room gets messy. It gets messy, especially after I get a yarn haul and I hadn't put it all away. Yeah, so I'll be doing a real yarn room video in the future. So just because it says, you know, a yarn tour, it'll be different from yesterday's because it'll probably be messy. I added a couple more amigurumis that I came across. Let's see, that that candy corn jellyfish. And if you want to find the video, just go to my channel and search candy corn jellyfish, or just search jellyfish, and whatever jellyfish I have made will come up. Let's see, I added my cup of ramen noodles right here. someone, I believe it was Kim, asked me about a cactus. I don't have a cactus in here, so I'm not sure what she was talking about. And someone mentioned a purple blanket, and I don't know. I don't have a purple blanket either. But I have realized this. Sometimes people are watching videos, and I think if they have it on autoplay, while they're commenting on whatever video they're watching, it's already went to the next video, and so they're still commenting, not realizing that, and it'll end up on the next person's video. I think that happens a lot because I've noticed that. Sometimes people will comment about things that, obviously did not have anything to do with my video, and I think it's with the previous video they watched. So that happens. Anyway, guys, so today's video is about the feeding tube Tubie pads. I had done a video about feeding tube supplies, and then someone, Crochet, suggested that I make them out of cotton yarn. Like, duh, I never would have thought of that. And so I immediately thought, yeah, that's an awesome idea. And so I crocheted one up, and then I showed what I had crocheted on a video. And then a lot of people are interested in wanting to know how to make this, wanting to know what I did. I believe they want to donate to centers that in their town and such, and I think that is so awesome. I was very surprised at the people who, were asking for a little tutorial and wanting to know how I made them. So I recorded a tutorial this morning, and I'm going to put it right after this, to show you how I made these Tubie pads. And then I'm going to come back after that, and I'm going to show you one on my tube so you can see how it fits and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so let's watch the tutorial and make a Tubie pad, and I'll be back. Before we get started with the tutorial, I did want to say that I made this with cotton yarn. The one I'm making today, I used Crafter's Secret. This is a 4-weight yarn. It does say 100% cotton, and this particular little ball has 95 yards in this one. This one is from Hobby Lobby. I also have Lily Sugars and Cream. This seems to be a little bit bigger ball, and again, it's cotton yarn. This one has 120 yards, and this might be one that actually came from either Michael's or Joann's. I'm not sure. And then I have one that I made the other day, came from this little Lilies and Cream, and this little ball is 95 yards. So this is a bigger one, and this is a smaller one. I don't know prices. And then there also, Walmart has this Peaches and Cream cotton, and this particular one is 120 yards. So they're all different yardages. And here's another little Crafter's Secret one. And again, I think it's the same size as that first one, 95 yards. I just pulled it out because my next one that I make is going to be with this one here. And I'm going to make me a yellow and a mint green. So, let's go to the tutorial now. For reals, people. And I used my H hook, which is a 5mm hook, on these Tubie pads. Okay, thank you for joining me at my desk while I crochet a Tubie pad. So I'm using a Crafter's Secret cotton. It is 100% cotton, and that's what I'm going to use. Now, to get started with crocheting, I have to use a little bit of a aid to help me chain and get going. So I have this strap that I put on my hand, just to get started. Then I can change to a regular crochet hook. Well, one with a big handle. But anyway, okay, so I made my slip knot and I have that on my hook. And you can do a magic ring if that's what you prefer to do. So I'm going to crochet I'm going to chain 2. And then I'm going to put 6 single crochets back into that first chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm not going to connect. I'm going to be working back and forth in this, so there's no need for a stitch marker or anything like that. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. And in this very first one, I'm going to put 3 double crochets in that very first stitch. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and I think 3. Okay, so I'm putting 3 in that very first one, and then in the next one I'm going to put 2 double crochets, okay, so now we're into the third one. And I'm putting 2 double crochets. Okay, we should be going into the 4th stitch. And I'm going to put 2 double crochets. Okay, pull me some yarn out. Alright, so now we should be going into the 5th stitch. And again, I'm putting 2 double crochets. Alright, now we're at the 6th stitch. So I'm going into that and I'm going to put 3 double crochets. There's 2 and here's 3. Alright, so I put 3 double crochets in the first, 2 in each stitch, and then 3 in the last. And basically that's what I'm going to do, but we'll just crochet along together. Now I'm going to change to my, I'm going to rest my hand for a second and change to my hook without the head strap and just use this one with a big handle. Okay, so here I'm going to put in the very first stitch, I chained 1, turned my work, and then I'm going to put 3 double crochets in this very first stitch. If I can get my yarn and hook and hand to all cooperate together. Bear with me, I can do this. Okay. Maybe. Okay, that's 2. Right, yeah, that's 2. So this would be number 3. right, now I'm going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch until I get to that last one. So we'll just crochet together if you don't mind. This is very easy to work up, and I think these are, you know, it's a lot cheaper to make these than to purchase them on Etsy or Amazon. So this will be my little on the go project. I'll keep some cotton yarn in my go bags, and when I'm somewhere and just need something to do and don't want, you know, I've already worked on the project I took, or don't want to work on that project or something, I'll just have some of this cotton yarn with me so I can make these, because I will make these the rest of my life, okay? I mean, I will use these the rest of my life is what I meant to say. The Tubie pads, I'll have a feeding tube the rest of my life, so I'll need these. And I'll go through several of these a day, 2, 3 to 4, up to 4 probably a day. So it'd be something that, you know, I do need. Like, I don't feel like I could have too many of these, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know, honestly, when I go to the hospital, I was going to say, I don't know how much our hospital deals with people with feeding tubes, because when I go and I'm in the hospital, sometimes I feel like it's their first time to ever see a feeding tube, okay? And maybe some nurses don't have as much experience as other nurses or something, you know, but sometimes I'm like, haven't you ever seen a feeding tube before? Like, and when they're doing things, I'm just like not understanding what they're doing. So, because they're not sure what they're doing and they don't understand, and I'm just like, what are you thinking? So I don't really feel like they get a whole lot of traffic of tube fed people, or at least that's been my experience. Oops. But someone somewhere might have a hospital locally that uses, you know, that does deal with a lot of tube feeding people, and they might appreciate some of these being donated or something. Next time I do go to oncology, I am going to inquire. There's a sweet little nurse up there that I will inquire with her about, is that a need? I've taken hats and gave to oncology before, and, you know, just told them they could pass them out at will, as someone might need a hat. But I'll ask her, is there a need for something like this? So I'm at the last stitch now, and so I am putting 3 double crochets in that stitch. Okay, there we go. It's looking nice already. So doing the double crochets is growing quickly, and also it's making it not quite so tight, so air can pass through this, so that's a good thing too. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and put 3 double crochets in that very first stitch. Like, I'm not skipping that little first stitch there. Just trying to get all the stitches across. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if oncology does know of someone, you know, that has a feeding tube and would appreciate something like this. Some people, you know, would not want a homemade crocheted item, and I'm not offended by that at all. That's their, you know, their preference, their life, and what they're comfortable with. But somebody would appreciate it. But I'll ask and see. We don't live in a huge town. We live kind of in a city, smallish city, I guess. I mean, it's not a tiny city, but it's not like a huge city or anything like that. So people who live in bigger cities and bigger towns, their hospital probably gets a lot more traffic of tube-fed people than we do here. But what I was going to say, sorry, I'll ask about, you know, is there someone who would appreciate this? Because tube feeding, even with insurance, well, with private insurance, I'm not sure about Medicaid and Medicare and stuff like that, but with private insurance, they do not cover everything. And what they do cover, they don't want to cover. You have to, like, fight them to cover stuff, you know. They're always coming up with a reason why they can't cover something. Blue Cross Blue Shield. And so there is a lot of extra out-of-pocket expenses with tube feedings. Like, a lot. So just like this would never be covered by insurance. Not this one, but I'm just talking about tube pads that you buy on Etsy or Amazon. Those would never be covered by insurance. And I'm pretty sure they would not be covered by Medicaid or anything like that because it's a handmade item. So this would be a great alternative to people who are having to pay out-of-pocket expenses. These, you know, could be just free, donated, and be free for them. So the nurse might know of someone. And once this is washed, it will be really soft. Sometimes these little kitchen type cottons feel kind of rough, as you know, straight out of the skein where they're hadn't been washed or anything. But once these will be washed, they will be really soft on the skin. And they will be absorbent because they are 100% cotton. Excuse me. And we're almost done. I mean, it won't take much longer, and we'll be back at the beginning. Trying to make sure I didn't skip doing 2 in any of them. Did I right there? Yep. I don't think that would matter that much, but I'm just going to pull that out. And put 2 in that stitch. So you can see these are really simple and easy to work up. Doesn't take too long at all. I hope you're all enjoying your day and having a great day, no matter what it is you're doing. we do not have plans for today. It is a Saturday here, and we are just going to hang out and rest today, because that's what we need at the moment today. So you can let me know in the description box below if you have someone in your life that you can make these Tubie pads for. That is awesome, but I would, just like to hear that. Or if you think you can make some to donate to a local hospital near you. Or you might have a cancer treatment center. Oh yeah, we do have a cancer treatment center. We do. Okay, after I make some up and I have a little stash, I will check with my local cancer unit center here and see if they have patients with feeding tubes. A lot of times, if people get throat cancer or something, they might have a feeding tube, or I guess if they have cancer and are just too sick to eat or something, they might have a feeding tube. I'm not sure, but anyway, I could check with them and just see if they have a need for anything like this. Some people are very iffy about taking handmade donations. Some places are. I know some of our hospitals will not, for like hats for preemies and stuff. Even when I had a family member that had great-grandsons born premature, and I made hats for them and sent them to the hospital, the nurses kind of acted a little weird about it. I don't know why. They were going to a family member. Let's see. And this is the last row, by the way. See, it grows fast using that double crochet. Now you could make them with single crochet or half double crochet, but I was thinking I didn't want it so tight, the stitches, because with air being able to pass through there would be a good thing for my situation. Sometimes with a 4x4 gauze on there and tape, it just gets really hot all around your stoma of the feeding tube. And so I was just thinking it would let air pass through and maybe not be quite so hot. Alright, we on the last few stitches. You still with me? And you can see that did work up just so quick, didn't it? Okay, and I think this is the last stitch here, so I'll put 3 double crochets in this stitch. That might be the last stitch over here. Oh, let me see. Let me put 2 and then I'll decide if that was the last or not. It overlaps really well, even if that's not the last. It's all good. Right, okay, I'm gonna put 1 more so it'll be 3. Okay, and then I'm going to cut my work. I'm going to leave a long tail to weave it in really well. Since these will be washed a lot, in hot water, you know. So you can see how well that does overlap. That's great. And now I'm going to weave in these tails. Okay. Trying to get my needle kind of going there. I do want to weave in the tails, you know, super well. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just put my needle back one more time to pull that tail back through. Alright, and then I need to weave this tail in. And I never weave things in the same way every time. But this, I'm going to go ahead and knot this off at the beginning. And then try to work my tail down just a little. Now I'm just going under some stitches back and forth. Just do that a few times just to all right. And there we have it. Oh, I forgot that tail. There we have it. And it can go, you know, either way. There. And so that is so simple to make. Okay, friends, I hope you enjoyed that little tutorial and was able to follow along and create a Tubie pad. And I hope that, you know, you're able to find someone to donate these to. I'm going to tell you, I have one on right now, and I'm going to show it to you guys, show you how it fits and all that kind of stuff. It feels really good. Now, it is just made straight out of this. I have not washed it or anything. It feels fine on my skin. It is touching my skin. It feels fine. It's not irritating me or whatever. But I do know that after these are washed, they will soften up. You know, cotton always does. So it will soften up a little bit after that. But it's fine right now. And I tell you, if you make these for someone and they're not like icky about homemade stuff or crochet, they're going to want you to make more. Because I can see already I'll be making lots of these because this is something I'll use the rest of my life. So I'm going to swing out of camera and so that I can show you my Tubie pad that is on right now. I'll be right back. Okay, I just wanted to get my shirt positioned right so I didn't show you anything personal. Here is my Tubie pad on my stomach, and that's the way it fits. and it's perfect. It's perfect. Under that, I have my foamy pad. I have a foamy pad under there. Most of the time, it's just a 4x4 gauze, but right now I have a lot of irritation and raw skin under there, so I have on some calginate silver. I can't think of the name of it. Some calcium alginate silver on, and then I have a foamy pad on that just to keep the bumper from hitting those holes and raw places so much. And I have a piece of tape on the bottom of that to hold my calginate silver don't fall out down there. And then the Tubie pad under it, over it. Now you would think, okay, so the Tubie pad's going to be clean and not have anything on it, but no, it will be soaking wet after a while. It will be nasty, nasty. So I just take those off and throw those in the dirty clothes hamper and throw the rest of the stuff in the washer, garbage, and then change it out and all. So I need lots of these. I do have some that someone has sewn for me, and over time those do get lost, just like socks. Who knows what happens to them? Over time they, disappear one by one. So this will be a way that I can just, keep it replenished or whatever. So anyway, guys, I do appreciate you so very much for hanging out with me today, crocheting along with me. Whether you crocheted a Tubie patty or you crocheted another project, it's all good in the neighborhood. I will see you guys in the next video. It is a beautiful day to crochet. Even with these storms rolling in, I am about to go crochet because I got something I got to crochet up for next week. I've got to work on my videos today for next week, so I need to go crochet. I will see you all later. Bye, friends.